Khadija rescues a group of children. Khadija was 10 years old girl. She was very brave and courageous. She lived in a small village. One day, when she was returning from school, she heard the voices of some children crying. These voices were coming from behind some bushes. She looked for the children in the bushes. She found a group of 7 children ranging in the ages from 7 to 11. They had been separated from their parents by some men. These men were taking them to the city to make them work in factories. The children were very scared. Khadija quickly decided to help these children. While the men were having their food, she took the children to her farm and hid them behind some piles of straw. When the men came looking for the children, she feigned ignorance, even in the face of dire threats. She managed to save the children from a life of servitude. Francisco saves a train full of people. Francisco's father was a train driver. He would often let Francisco ride with him, which he enjoyed very much. One day, Francisco and his father were singing songs together in the engine compartment when suddenly his father fell down. Francisco did not know it, but his father had suffered a heart attack. The train was a few kilometers away from the nearest station. There were many other trains running on these tracks. Francisco tried to retrieve his father. But when all his efforts failed, he realized he was responsible for driving the train now. If they stood in one place, they could be hit by any other train passing by. Francisco had seen his father drive the train on this route many times, but he still felt scared to do it by himself. However, he knew there was no other option. He guided the train on the twisted path until they reached the nearest station. Daphros saves her siblings. Daphros lived in Rwanda with a family. She was the eldest of their siblings. One day, while their parents were away at work, a man knocked at their door. When Daphros opened the door, he barged in and told her to hide him. The man had a knife in his hand, and there were blood marks all over his clothes. Daphros was very frightened. The man told her that he would attack her if she screamed. Daphros's siblings were playing in the next room. She knew that they would be in great danger if she did not do what the stranger said. So she took him into the kitchen, where he hid behind some curtains. She did not let her siblings know there was a stranger hiding in the house. She did not want them to panic. She calmly suggested they should play outside. Once outside, she ran to the neighbor's house and called the police. Soon, the stranger was arrested. Neil prevents an accident. Neil was a young professor of sociology in a leading college in America. One day, he was driving to his college when he noticed a car in the next lane moving erratically. Suddenly, the car swerved over and hit the barrier on the side of the road. But the driver did not stop. The car was dragging along and sparks were flying from its body. Neil felt very worried. He pulled over beside the car. He saw that the driver was lying sprawled over the steering wheel. Neil knew the car had to be stopped before other people got hurt. He pulled his car in front of the other car and applied the brakes. As the other car crashed into his, it finally stopped. Neil rushed to pull out the driver, who was suffering from a stroke. Thanks to Neil's courageous act, his life was saved. Elena saves a girl from being drowned. Elena lived in Russia. She was a student of art history. One day, she saw two girls skipping in front of her. As she crossed the bridge, they stopped to look at the view. By mistake, one of the girls dropped her doll. She peered over the bridge to see where her doll fell, but lost her balance and fell into the river. Elena took off her shoes and coat and jumped into the river to save the girl. The water was very cold. The girl's clothes were soaking wet and kept on dragging her down. However, Elena managed to pull her to safety. However, it was so cold that the girl's teeth were clattering. Elena could see that the girl had started turning blue. If she did not reach a hospital soon, she would die of cold. Elena wrapped the girl in a coat and rushed her to a hospital.
Thanks for watching. Do like, share, subscribe to Sahil Book House.